Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about why on earth you need to be booking your travel well in advance. Many people, myself included, like to wait until as long as possible to book their trips. Others like to have everything laid out and know exactly what is going to happen, where they are traveling, when they're doing this, where the transfers are coming from, all of that good stuff. So, while a mix of somewhere in between is probably the best option here, I want to explain to you why you should be booking your travel in advance, particularly your flights and your hotels, as opposed to waiting until closer to your trip. As always, please smash that like button, and if you find this video useful, don't forget to subscribe. So, how far in advance should I be booking my travel is probably what you're wondering if you're coming to this video. Answers for this are different for both domestic and international trips. For international trips, I would generally say 8 to 10 months out is a good sweet spot for getting good deals in hotels and good deals on flights. That's if you want to be very prepared. For domestic trips, 4 to 6 weeks is usually a very good spot here, or not 4 to 6 weeks, excuse me, 4 to 6 months in advance. Most people generally err on the side of 4 to 3 months out. It honestly just depends on how much money you're spending and how prepared you want to be. If you're spending more money, you should probably book your trip earlier in advance. There are 3 main reasons why you should be booking your travel so far in advance, and I am going to share them with you now. So, reason number 1 for booking your travel in advance is better rates. Number 2 is more availability, and number 3 is peace of mind. So, I'm going to go in and explain each of these things, and hopefully you guys can get a better understanding. So let's start off by talking about getting better rates. This is the one that gets everybody excited. Everybody wants to hear about the best deal, right? So hotels usually release their availability and their pricings 10 months before the time of travel. So this means that if you are traveling on October 1st, the earliest you can book your accommodations is going to be January 1st. All right, so keep that in mind when it comes to planning. If you're going for a trip in October, you're not gonna be able to plan any earlier than the new year. So this holds true pre and post pandemic. This is not a new thing. This is just kind of how it's always been. Some hotels will release their accommodation later, but as soon as prices are released, other hotels in the area start to jack their prices up. However, if you are used to waiting, you might be able to find a sale or deal these days. You might be thinking that it doesn't really happen much. Sales aren't the same. So like as more hotels, like I said, are releasing their pricing, the cost of the other hotels is going up because of supply and demand. So while some hotels may be running sales, the travel industry is still recovering from 2 years of losing money and having zero income, and they really are not up to offering any bargains anytime soon. So truly your best bet to get a good deal or the appropriate price is to book in advance. This means that the price you see when it becomes available is only going to stay this way or increase. There are some exceptions, like Black Friday will have some deals and stuff like that, but there isn't going to be much fluctuation down in pricing. So to book your travel in advance at this point is better. We're already seeing hotels for June of 2023 sell out, and that's in October. So if you want a good rate, book it when you see it, when it makes sense to you, and not on this gamble that you think the price is going to change. I just kind of hate to say it, but those days are kind of gone. So the same goes for flights and car rentals. We are seeing a supreme, they're doing work outside of my apartment, so if there's a lot of noises, I apologize. So we're seeing a supreme amount of people requesting car rentals, and they are selling out, so make sure you book your car rentals as soon as you can. So Carrying on, number 2 reason you should be booking your travel in advance is because of availability. And I know I just kind of touched on that right there, but because people are catching on with the lack of sales, hotel rooms are being snatched up at astronomical rates. Like I said, hotels in June are already like selling out of certain accommodation levels, and it's October. But not only are rooms going faster because of this, but everyone and their brother is traveling right now after being cooped up for 2 years. So I think everybody's trying to get out of the house. Like, I thought everybody went to Italy last year, but everybody's also going to Italy this year. Like, the amount of Italy inquiries I'm getting is insane. And Greece too. So if you want to go to Italy or Greece, you need to book now. As a travel advisor, I have Italy inquiries like coming in daily, and everyone pretty much is ready to book like yesterday. Honestly, like people are like, can I book now? And I'm like, well, I have to get pricing and all this stuff. It's insane. So booking early is going to get you accommodation where you want, when you want, and at a price that you maybe don't want, but it will be a price that makes sense for the state of the world and things that are going on. You also have to keep in mind that gas prices are going up right now, so car rentals and transfers are going up, and so are flight prices because of the cost of fuel. If you wait to book anything, you could be losing out on all 3 of these things. You could be losing out on availability, pricing, and your ideal dates. So this might sound silly, but one of my biggest values-based assets as a travel advisor, apart from my expansive and expertise knowledge, is providing my clients with the peace of mind that they are taken care of and they don't have to stress about all of this stuff. So by booking your travel in advance lets you know that everything is good to go, taken care of, there's not going to be any snags. Like if you have things planned, you're not going to run into these hiccups nearly as much, because it's travel and things do have hiccups, things do happen in travel, it's just the way it goes. But at least you won't be in a scramble to book your hotels and cars and transfers and flights and stuff like that, because the big stuff is taken care of, so you can just focus on being there and being in the moment. So you know how we always leave packing to the last minute. If you're thinking of having a trip booked and you have the flights booked but not the accommodation, imagine trying to book while you're arguing with your brother, cooking dinner, trying to pack. And just add on that stress level to the aspect of trying to book something. Like, that's how all booking is these days. So, you know, because accommodation is limited. So I suggest you book now if you're traveling in the next 8 months. I promise you, your life will be simpler for it. I think one of the big things is you never know what is going to happen leading up to a trip, and having everything set in stone while you're thinking about it instead of trying to scramble, it makes much more sense, and it's much more ideal than the chaos of waiting. You know, nobody ever plans for their car to break down, or for them to need new tires, or for the electricity bill to go up. So, you know, I say book now and have it set so that when it comes later on, it's set. I mean, I personally am a chronic procrastinator, but I'm also a professional traveler, and I'm here to tell you, do not, and I repeat, do not be like me. I'm that person that like plans their, like books their flights a day before they travel, and everybody's like, when are you getting here? I'm like, I don't know, it'll be fine. But all in all, if you're planning a domestic trip, 4 to 6 months in advance is the sweet spot. If you haven't booked your winter like ski vacations yet, like you need to do that today. You should have done it probably yesterday, because those things are going bye-bye. And then for anything international, 8 to 10 months in advance is ideal. So if you have any questions or need help planning your trip, please don't hesitate to reach out. As you guys know, I am a travel advisor. This is kind of my thing. It's what I do. You can submit the words are hard, but you can submit an inquiry at www.exploratortravel.com/Sydney, or by sending me an email to sydney@exploratortravel.com. That is Sydney, like the city in Australia, at Explorator, EXPLORATEUR travel.com. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys keep it groovy. Talk to you later.